Okay, so Spirit was like extended reading about this Rilo Kiley Portions for Foxes channeled message. Resonance for you is if you've been staying up late, and possibly like reaching out for certain types of coping mechanisms, maybe even things that may be defined as like vices or what have you. It doesn't have to be, but essentially behaviors and practices that are indulgent. And if we do too much, it could be overindulgent, essentially. Now, what's coming through with this Portions for Foxes and a lot of the lyrics that Spirit is having me like focus on is one like, I'm bad news, baby, I'm bad news. So kind of already it's like there's that lyric is almost just, it's very honest and it's broadcasting and kind of highlighting, okay, you more or less are already aware of what is not ultimately that good for you, what is not going to have a really healthy impact on you, what not may be good to introduce or reintroduce to your system, or at least not at this time, not at this hour, not at this moment. Because then there's the other lyric in part of the song where it's like, the singer's like, I don't care, I like you, you know? So it's acknowledging that we can know that something is not good for us and also acknowledge the part of us that likes it, finds some kind of pleasure, some kind of joy, some kind of solace in it. Now, the thing is though, the part of us that has analyzed the bad news, like this higher, when I say higher, I mean more zoomed out version of self. One that's a little bit more detached and like a more holistic point of view versus the part of self that is more on the ground and closer to that desire or want, if you will. This part is more so pretty much like clocking things and being like, yeah, you may have like a momentary pleasure, but you know it's like a hollow victory. It's like a hollow, it's like a temporary high kind of gig. It's like a fix. It's like a quick hit and then there is a come down, you know what I mean? It's not really building up. It is more depleting than it is fulfilling. Now, remember, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. This is a general collective reading, so it's really up to you to kind of analyze for your situation, like what are these potential habits and coping mechanisms, behaviors that you're engaging in and or you're seeking to engage in, considering engaging in, and discerning and defining, okay, what is too much, what is don't do at all, what is never again, what is less, what is like under only certain circumstances, certain environments, conditions, whatever. There's a lot of invitation to be accountable and observant in a really self-loving and self-nourishing way. It's clocking these potentially destructive and or potentially overindulgent coping mechanisms and introductions of outside energies and forces, especially, that's something to be mindful of. Come back to that point, thank you, Spirit. Being mindful of all of this so that you can really honor your body and your space and your environment more. Really like be real, not only about the desires that you have, also about the needs that you have. And if you're seeking to, and there's also something, pardon me for slowing down, Spirit's really bringing me back into the channel. There's an energy, there's an invitation here as well to like, what do you really want? Like, what are you really seeking to feel by reaching for and through these coping mechanisms? And A lot of these habits are from past versions of self that really don't resonate anymore. Allow yourself to sit a bit more in the non-fulfillment of some of these desires or habits, practices, or behaviors, and or sit in the notable reduction of it. And reflect on what's coming up right now. Reflect on what's coming through. Reflect on what you're feeling, what's seeking to be processed. What are these late night revelations that are speaking to you, through you, with you? There's something about these late night hours. And I know this isn't a novel concept about late night hours bringing in revelations. Like, no. However, I believe that we go through certain periods where we're naturally brought into this, and it's important to be reminded and to also help guide each other through this. That's why we're here, to help support each other. Like, if you made it with me thus far in this channel, it's because you are going through a notable period of activation, ascension, and awakening. And you're feeling it on truly physical and tangible levels. You're noticing, you may even be resonating with certain like task paralysis or increased indecision. And it doesn't mean you're not gratitude, part of it. It doesn't mean you're not grateful and aware of all of the different like things you could be doing. Like, there could be all of that, and yet at the same token, you're just energetically like almost stumped because you don't want to be just like focused on output, yet you don't only want to be focused on input. And then you're trying to figure out what is the aligned sauce and ratio between input and output, and then what feels like the healthy and good input and output as I'm in this transforming phase, becoming a whole new version of myself. So what is my input and output? And also being aware on a bigger level, like, you know, you're in a transformational phase about to arrive. Well, you're like, I should say, evolving into a more like landed manifestation, really, but you're not fully there yet. You know, you're transforming, you're in motion and process. So it's like trying not to be too much of that version of self that's further ahead, where you're like pressuring yourself and like doing too much too soon and not listening to your bodily signals and cues. And at the same token, you're not trying to be like the past version of yourself. And so you're trying to know this new version of yourself in the midst of being in the sauce. And so at certain moments in times, you're just reaching for a certain habit or a certain behavior because you're just like, I just want to relax. I just want to chill out. I just want to ground. Like, I just want to feel good. And that's okay. That is okay. Spirit is just saying, like, be intentional and mindful about what are you energetically allowing in and opening up to with these coping mechanisms, and be very discerning and selective. It's like exchange energy in places and spaces that really feel like worthwhile, feel like it's going to be mutually beneficial, respectful, and like as high vibe as possible. Like, this isn't a time to be settling for less and trying to deceive yourself that it's more. This is all about real authenticity. And if it isn't like a heck yes, then I'm not saying you have to say heck no. I am feeling those spirits. Like, if it ain't making you say, oh yeah, then it's like, let it be. Like, let it be. So thank you so much for bearing with me. With this late night message. I have tried to record this like 4 or 5 times, this long one, with this Rilo Kiley. I say go listen to the song, I recommend it. See what lyrics call out to you, what parts call out to you. Because certain things that used to excite and delight you, they still will, but not in the same ways and frequencies. It's different now.